Welcome to Lock In with Bella. From the block to the bigger picture. We don't just talk about it, we see through it. I'm Bella. Let's lock in. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about Candace versus TPUSA. So here's a brief summary of what's taking place. So Candace is in an ongoing feud with TPUSA over the assassination of her friend Charlie Kirk and the strange and unusual behaviors of his co-hosts, business partners, and long-term friends due to their lack of emotions and care for the investigation and the many misleading details that have been placed out in the media from law enforcement, business partners, and security details. The narrative given of Charlie Kirk's untimely demise has caused an uproar in the social media community as well as among his loyal fans and peers. This has resulted in the public's demand for answers to the many questions that have surfaced after receiving an explanation from law enforcement of details of what happened on September 10, 2025, the day Charlie tragically lost his life. Candace and her team have teamed up with the social media community to find out those answers due to the lack of assistance and answers from government officials. The video surfacing online of the assassination of Charlie Kirk has raised many questions due to the narrative that is being spent by law enforcement and security detail. But this narrative does not fit or explain what took place that day, causing Candace and millions all over the world to scream cover up. This ongoing battle has caused a worldwide investigation into the lives of all involved to seek justice for Charlie Kirk. So now I want to talk about some of the details of what Candace has discovered during her investigation into the lives of all of those surrounding Charlie Kirk during the time of his untimely demise. Here's what Candace Owens discovered during her investigation. Law enforcement released the name Tyler Robinson as the assassin who shot at Charlie Kirk on the roof of one of the surrounding buildings that day and spoke of evidence being left behind on the scene. But due to the setup and the information that they provided, the public had different beliefs of what happened that day. So the first thing that Candace looked into was the assassin's location. So while watching a video of Charlie Kirk's assassination, Candace Owens theorized that the assassin could have been hiding in an underground tunnel behind the stage at Utah Valley University, suggesting that there was a trapdoor like setup, which went against what law enforcement suggested happened during the event. But this could no longer be looked into due to the strange behavior of the college repaving the area very soon after the incident. She spoke about federal government's role. She expressed that she felt the federal government framed Tyler Robinson for Charlie Kirk's assassination, calling the official narrative a federal concoction. She also talked about the political pressures that Charlie faced. She suggested that Charlie Kirk was under pressure from his hedge fund manager, Bill Ackman, over the series of comments that Kirk was making the week before his assassination about Israel causing for an intervention by the Trump administration, in which Candace provided text messages between Kirk and other co-workers where Kirk spoke about being fed up with the pressure that he was receiving from donors. She gave evidence in text messages where she and many other social media influencers who was investigating into the case looked into the text messages provided to the public from law enforcement of messages going back and forth between Tyler Robinson and his lover after the shooting. So Candace alleged that this evidence was fabricated by federal government. She also spoke about the text messages lacking timestamps and not sounding like Tyler Robinson, the alleged shooter, and his boyfriend, due to the nature of how they spoke. How they spoke in the text messages sounded like old Shakespeare manuscripts, not like young 23-year-old adults in America. This is what raised speculations of them being faked. These are some of the past discoveries that Candace has brought up, but many more arise in the wake of those discoveries due to the many lies that was uncovered from the responses of TPUSA in their urgency to debunk Candace's theories. In Candace's effort to expose their lies, and with the help of some of her social media followers, they uncovered lies on top of lies on top of lies. This began to make TPUSA look even more involved or like they were hiding something. Their stories didn't make sense, and this just raised more and more questions. So that is just a summary of the breakdown of what took place in the first part of this investigation, and there will be many other episodes covering more of Candace's findings so we can get to the bottom of what's really going on. Now I want to talk about my opinion about the situation and also give some spiritual insight into what's going on and why I feel Charlie's wife's name is coming up and being looked into today. Okay, so now that we're done with that, we're going to get basically right into how I feel about it. God has had me watching this this thing go back and forth pretty much since the case. I watched the video in the beginning, and I'm going to be honest, I had questions as well. The storyline that they provided to the public did not make sense to me either, and it didn't make sense to a lot of people, and that is why so many people have came together with Candace. She has built a tremendous following based on just people needing to get the right answers, and her finding the answers to the questions that we all have. I'm not really a political person where I was into watching anything political, but God has lately been having me focus on those things because there is a lot of different things happening in this world that we definitely do need to be paying attention to at this time. So now I want to talk about how I feel about the whole situation and just give my insight on what I've seen going back and forth. So the questions that Candace is raising, as well as many other people all over the world, there's so many people watching this case very closely because of how much the storyline didn't make sense. And so many people have came together, from like assassins, all kind of people have came forward to kind of question this narrative that the authorities have given, and each one of these people have proven that the storyline doesn't make sense, right? So the questions that Candace is asking, I understand why she's doing it, because this is someone who was her friend. It's someone that she was very close to, and anytime that any one of our friends, we can all speak for this, anytime when any one of our friends have been served the injustice, and we feel like they have gotten, there's been an injustice, especially in the matters of their lives being taken, and for the world to see and covered up, that can fuel a lot of different emotions in any person who would call themselves a friend. So there's some things that Candace has done in this investigation that I felt like I probably wouldn't have approached it in that way. But as far as how hard she's going, as far as the questions that she want answered, and the how she's drilling into them because of all of the lies that's being told to her, I completely understand why she's going so hard. I mean, just because I know that I definitely would. Between the questions that she has and the answers that TPUSA are giving to respond to these questions that she has raised, as well as the public has raised, they have been caught in so many lies, so many stories don't make sense, that it kind of has make them look guilty whether they were guilty or not. And that's honestly how I feel about it. If they weren't guilty, because of the lies that they're telling and the different stories between the different people, there's leaks in their companies, so there's people talking, and what they're telling to Candace is opposite from what they're telling to Candace. So the lies is so ridiculous at this point that if they weren't guilty, they look guilty. And that's my point. So I don't generally like to take sides. I do watch, I observe, but I mean, like anybody else, you do eventually choose who you want to stand by and who you believe, because that's just how it goes. So in this time of me watching this, and I've been watching this since the beginning, since September, when this happened, it doesn't at this point matter to me what TPUSA is talking about. It's kind of got to the point where I don't even listen to them anymore or want to even hear what they have to say, because of how many lies they have told. And also the energy that I'm getting from them is hypocritical to me, because they do a lot of speaking of the word of God, and they use God in biblical references a lot to try to push the pressure off of them answering these questions, or to make people have this sympathy for them. But the thing is that God operates in truth, and regardless of what the situation is, if you are praying to God, and this is the God that I serve and Candace serves and her many followers serve, God is going to always make you stand on the truth. If you really do have a relationship with him, you're going to be convicted. So you're not going to be in a space where you can be just lying this much, right? And so another thing that I noticed as far as that is the way that they're being exposed so very quickly after they tell the lie. The turnaround on the exposure of them being the lie coming out, that that is coming out that there is a lie, the turnaround is within 24 hours. So that should be an indication to them that whatever it is that they're doing and saying, God is not in agreement with, because he's allowing the lies to be exposed right away. And it's like right away it's happening. And it's happened so often that nobody at this point really believes anything that they say at this point. Also, there's a lot of bashing back and forth. And I one thing I do, it kind of gets on my nerve how anytime you question something, because in this world, we all grew up in different neighborhoods. We had different walks in life. And one thing in all of those different walks, no matter what neighborhood we came from, no matter where we grew up at, how we grew up, one thing we all have learned is you can't believe everything you hear, right? And you have to question things, because people lie in your face every day. Like if you allow them to, they will lie in your face every day. But this thing that they do in the media, where anytime you ask questions, or if you don't believe what they're telling you, even though they've revealed themselves to be liars, then you become crazy, or a conspiracy theory, or they make you sound like, oh, or is that person is stupid, and then they go to insults. Because see, what I realize with people is when they don't have no comeback, when they don't have nothing substantial to say, they always insult. So what you're getting now is the rhetoric back and forth. And I don't even want to say it's Candace, because she's not really even entertaining it. She just laughs at them. But it's more on a childish standpoint. And my thing is, you guys are speaking of God and the Bible, and you continuously bring that up when you feel like you're being attacked, and when you want to throw out the fact that you're being attacked, you bring that up. But one thing I do know in my walk with God, moral compass, that's something you definitely going to work on in your walk with God. Integrity, standing on integrity, in truth and honesty. You will be convicted. It's not something that you can comfortably do, and God lets you get away with it. God don't give you some kind of nudge that you heading in the wrong direction. So the fact that you could do it even while being convicted is it says a lot to me. So the reason why I'm standing with Candace, and like I said, I don't agree with everything or how she's going about it, but like I said, I gave her a pass because I know how it is when it's somebody close to you. When it's your friend, your emotions get involved. And honestly, she's still handling it a lot better than people I know, and even me at sometimes. Because I ain't gonna hold you. If I'd have watched my friend go through something like that, yeah, I don't know, bruh. It probably would have been worse. I've probably been worse. And I'm not laughing at the situation. I'm laughing because God kind of just like, you? Yeah, you need to run that back. Yeah, because honestly, yeah, I had to really think about the situation. Like, if that happened to any one of us and we witnessed it happen, yeah. And then everybody lying to you, the story don't sound right, the people lying, everything sounds shaky. Yeah, I don't know. I probably have been upset too. And especially when you get people lying and playing in your face over and over again. Yeah, I can see she handling it well. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. She handling it well. I watched her a few times back in the day, like not even back in the day, but like a few episodes of hers here and there. But this is the most I've ever watched her or anything pertaining to like, and it's then took a turn from politics at this point. I mean, it is involved, but it's kind of took a turn. It's really like a real life investigation. Also, this kind of showed me like this showed her every side of her, the emotional side. It showed how well she handles pressure, and how when she is she's one of those people that's determined to get answers, which I am the same way. But I'm telling you, like, she really investigates, and when she most of the time, and it's probably just in case Anybody ever catch this? If you going against her and she asks you a question about something, no, she already know the answer. I'm laughing because they haven't figured out yet that every question she asks them, she know the truth already. She already has the answer. She just want to see what you gonna say. She want to see if you gonna lie. And they lie, and then she comes right out with the proof because she already has the answer. I can tell it's so much stuff she already knows that she just slowly unfolding. It's like I can tell she knows more than she's saying at this moment. Now she gonna say it all, but she pacing herself. And she gonna give you the chance to tell her the truth. But no, she already know the answer. She already got the answer. So just in case, if you are going against her and she coming at you and she asking you questions, you better off not saying nothing to her. I don't want to talk to you. I'm not answering none of your questions. Or don't lie, because there's no point. She already had an answer. And honestly, all of the people that's going against her that they saying they lost respect for or whatever, it's a lot of people that hold her in high regard and respect her because of how she's getting this information. It's like leaks inside of the company. She got people in high places helping her with this investigation. So the fact that they're doing that, it's something there. Because you're going to have loyalty if you're a good person. Like if you're a good person, you a stand-up person, people are going to be loyal to you. But it's a lot of disloyal people around them that's talking. Like, and honestly, this kind of remind me of the Drake and Kendrick. But when I just thought about that kind of just remind me of Drake and Kendrick battle. So how many people was talking and giving Kendrick information, you know what I mean? And how less people was talking about Kendrick. You see what I'm saying? Like Drake was trying to get information on Kendrick, right? And this is a side note. Drake was kind of trying to get information on Kendrick, and Kendrick probably, I'm gonna keep it real. I don't even think Kendrick needed evidence or proof or nothing on Drake. I think he'd been watching him for a long time, and because he good with words, he had already clocked him, read him, and was just waiting for the moment to tell him everything that he felt about him and saw about him. So I don't even think Kendrick had to ask nobody nothing about him. I feel like people volunteered the information because this is what it is. When you're not a stand-up person, right? When you shady and you shady to people, you have a lot of people that may be in your face and they around you because they want to use you for what you got, but they really don't like you. And they know all of your business and they going to go run and tell whoever they can tell. So pay attention to how little information Drake had on Kendrick and how much information Kendrick had on Drake. And that kind of sums this up. It's the same thing. They want to say stuff about Candace, but they don't. It's nobody talking like that. Yeah, they can say, I don't agree with her doing this because, you know, she shouldn't be doing this. That's the only thing they can really say. But it's nothing they really can mention about her besides calling her a conspiracy theorist, calling her crazy, calling her emotional. It's just all the usual things they say when you ask too many questions for their likings. But my thing is this. If you telling the truth, ain't no reason that like you don't have nothing to fear. It's no fear in asking questions when you're telling the truth. So that was my take on that part. I'm gonna get some spiritual intake on this, but I just wanted to tell y'all about that. As far as how I see it, it's too much lying on their side. It's too much lying for me. It's too much lying for me. And even I'm talking about how she's now starting to go and starting to question his wife. The thing is, she didn't talk about his wife until late in the whole thing. She just started doing it. And this is even with the pressure of all the people in her comments trying to get her to look into her from the start. People from the start felt like something was off with her. Now, see, when people started like talking to me like, hey, what about the wife? You see what they said about the wife? I kind of just ignored it because I was like, dang, they always go at the wife. Soon as something happened, they always go at the wife. So I didn't even want to engage with that. I didn't look into it or nothing. I'm just like, when something come up that kind of raised my eyebrow, then I'll push, I'll look into it. But I didn't really pay attention to it until she started lying. And she was lying about stuff that, this is my thing. When you lying about stuff that you don't even need to be lying about, like, it was like unnecessary lies, like unnecessary lies. I didn't date for 5 years before Charlie. Huh? Like, it's okay to date. Like, the thing is this, it's okay to date. The thing, like, even if she did have a past, it's fine. We all got a past. If you could have said, oh yeah, I used to, I had a past, but I turned my life around, and I'm walking with God now, and this is my life now. Easy. Truth. That's what I'm saying. You don't need to do all of that. But then you saying all of this stuff you didn't do, it just was like, and it was getting exposed like right away. So this is my thing. People calling Candace demonic, right? They calling her demonic for asking all these questions, for questioning them. But she not doing nothing but being the friend that any other person would be that got questions if something don't make sense. You know what I mean? And also, she's protected. If you ain't paying attention, this is the woman that, because she asks questions, because she don't just believe anything that anybody says, and she questions it, and she don't take what they say at face value. If she don't believe it, she don't believe it. She gonna do her investigation. They tried to blackball this woman and everything. They was convinced that she was never gonna be seen again. Nobody was gonna talk, listen to her again. She was never gonna have these type of numbers. This how God works. When the enemy try to strip you of everything, right? Because that's what the enemy do. He come in straight to attack your finances. He try to tear your life all the way down to the least common denominator, right? Because he needs you to be defeated. She took it on the chin, like, okay, they blackballed me. I'm gonna still do my podcast. I'm gonna do this on YouTube. We gonna see how it go. She did better there than she did with. She did better on YouTube, and it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Now understand this. Yes, some of the things that some of the things she may do, or some of the questions she may ask, or some of the stuff people might not agree with it. But I don't think she lying about nothing. I don't think she lying about nothing. She had receipts. I ain't never seen nobody with this many receipts. Like, she got receipts, she got proof, she got, they saying there's not enough substantial information. The information that she's gotten from this investigation, I'm like, she's doing darn good police work. She's doing good. Like, the questions, the answers, it's all stuff that the authorities should already asked and had. Like, the stuff that she finding out was never mentioned, ever even thought about. They on some open and closed case. It's done for them. And they haven't asked even a smidgen of these questions that she's asked, and how much that has unfolded in all of this time. It's like, it's the whole thing, it seems this thing's shady, it's shifty. This is really shifty for me. And I don't believe their storyline either. I don't believe the storyline. I don't believe what the authorities saying. It don't make sense. It's too much. It's too much, like, confusion. And you know who brings confusion? Okay? So you can't really get mad at somebody that's trying to clear things up and get clear on things. Okay, so now that I done gave you my take on that, now we're going to talk about the spiritual side of things. So probably about 6 or 7 months ago, the Holy Spirit came to me, because I can hear spiritually. And I heard that all corrupt organizations, corrupt people, judgment was upon them. And I also heard that they were going to be saying things that they were going to expose themselves with the words that they were saying. So, and they're not going to even know why they're saying it. This is how I heard it. Like, they're going to be saying things. They're going to be literally telling on themselves. They're going to be saying things. And even later, they're going to wonder why they said it. They're going to be questioning. Why did I say that? Why did I say that? Because it's going to get exposed. Everything that they try to hide in the dark is coming to the light right now. The Holy Spirit said that God is exposing before he dismantles it. So if you watching all of these different things happen in the media, and that's why I've been led to watch I don't really watch the news. I never watched the news. I never was into politics. I never looked at any of the stuff. It bored me. To be honest, it bored me. But he has had me watching this very closely. And so, like I'm saying, Turning Point. Very significant name. Turning Point. After I first started watching this back in September, suddenly, Turning Point. I kept hearing Turning Point. Turning Point. And even when I would read something, it would be in there. Turning Point. People would be just like saying it in conversation. It's a Turning Point. I just kept hearing Turning Point. And it's so very significant. I'm telling you, this whole thing is spiritual, whether people know it. It's a war on truth right now. And so the thing is that a lot of people's heads been buried in the sand for so long. And they know people have been lying. They know the media's been lying. They know the lies have been there. But they didn't care enough to get involved. They didn't care enough to fight back, right? But we in a new era right now. This is the era of truth. All lies will be exposed. All corruption will be exposed. Anything you doing in the dark is going to get exposed at this time. We are in the end times. And just like it's written in the Bible, is what's happening. It's happening right before our eyes. And so in this message I got, the Holy Spirit was saying, God needs you to be as comfortable in this truth as you was in those lies. Because it's not that we didn't know that they were lying. It's just like you get to a point where you're just like, okay, they're lying again. It is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. You know what I mean? But we getting all of these people. And I don't know why I just heard frontier. We getting all these people that's grabbing a torch. And they're going to fight for the truth to be exposed. And both of my phones just went off. That's confirmation. I stopped it at that time because both of my phones, notifications went off on both of my phones, right? And I'm like, dang, okay, I got to edit that part out. I heard leave it. And when I went back to start recording again, I went back and listened. And even when I listened to it again, as soon as the notifications went off in the recording, 2 more notifications went off on my phone at the same time. Double confirmation. This is what I'm telling you. This is the turning point. The time that we've all been waiting for the truth to be exposed, and all these lies and everything, all of these lies and things people hiding in the dark and thinking they're going to continue to get away with it. It's up. It's up now. There's nothing. This is another thing that was in the message. There is no amount of money or nowhere they can hide from this judgment. Their money will not buy them out of this. Okay? And then even when I was talking to a friend, and I'm telling like, yeah, some of these people need to be prosecuted, right? That's what I meant to say. I was saying something. I don't even know if I was saying some of these people need to be prosecuted. I think I was saying when they prosecute them or something. I was saying, I know I used the word prosecute. I was trying to use the word prosecute, but I said persecute. I accidentally said persecute, and I was talking to my friend, and she was like, I said, oh, I meant to say prosecute, but I said, I don't believe in coincidences, and she's like, exactly, persecute, okay? So the thing is this is the era we in right now, so you can watch. It's not a surprise because we knew this day was coming, you know? It's just here now. Also, I want y'all to know, yes, they're going. It's so many people that's going against Candace right now. While she's standing in this truth and she fighting for the truth, right? They threatening her. This is a woman. This is a woman doing this. And so even through the threats, even through all of the attacks, the insults, she's standing on business. And one thing I can say about her is what she's showing all of us is somebody standing in unshakable faith. And I just got to chill when I said that. Because this is the thing. She could have cowered away like all the other many people like her that's in on the inside that know the truth too, that's too afraid to speak. But she's standing on business. Because what does she know? She said, my God is going to protect me. My God is going to protect me. And he said he will never leave me nor forsake me. And she believed that. Because any other person going through all of this attack would have bowed out by now. She being sued, all kind of stuff right now. And she's still standing on business. And she ain't got a whole bunch of people, you know, like right now she's starting to get more people to come in. But you know, she was standing on this even when she didn't feel like she had nobody. But like her team that came with her. Now what's happening is you watching, there's a group, like a group of men. Because I was like, yeah, I started looking like she's a woman. You know what I mean? That's a scary place to be. But just imagine how much faith she got. She's showing everybody faith right now. This is what I'm telling you. If you think she's not getting protected, look at it. Look at the whole thing. Look at the big picture of the whole thing. You may not like what she's saying. You may not like what she's doing. But the point is that she is standing on truth. She's fighting for truth. And I understand you want to believe that, you know, you want to believe what you want to believe. And it's fine if people are innocent. It will be revealed. She's not wanting to accuse anybody of anything. She's just trying to get to the truth. And if she's allowed to continue to do this, even through all the attacks, the backlash, the threats, the suing, everything, she's still moving. That's God. The fact she can get up every day, even after she lost her friend and watched him get assassinated right before her eyes, and still stood up strong to go into this investigation clear-headed enough to get real answers. Yeah, she's standing on faith. So yeah, people can say she's demonic and all of these things, because how I look at it, when you start, you got to be careful when you start calling people demonic. Because one thing I'm gonna tell you right now, especially a person that can hear spiritually, nothing demonic stands in truth. Nothing. It's all confusion, lies, manipulation. Sound familiar? She coming with receipts. She coming with text message. She coming with sources that's in their camp, sources that know them, sources that seen them. You know what I mean? She not just saying anything. She doing research. And I'm telling you, that it's the way it's happening. I can see exactly. This is much deeper than just the surface. Okay, this is just about her going against. Nah, this spiritual. This is spiritual. Okay, this is spiritual. And the Holy Spirit wanted me to say that because honestly, I had to look at the bigger picture. That's why I said in all of this, everything that I talk about, we're gonna look at the full picture of things. It's never gonna be one-sided. Yeah, I'm gonna give you my opinion on whose side I'm on, what I feel. But we're going to look at the bigger picture, at the whole thing. And that's why I said I'm going to always stand with the person that's standing on truth. Always. Because even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's, you know, it's going to be uncomfortable. You see all this stuff that's coming out right now in the media. It's uncomfortable. Some of it is downright, we ain't going to even say some of it. A lot of it is downright sick. Okay? It's uncomfortable, but it is the truth. And I'd rather be uncomfortable in that truth than my head buried in the sand and lies. I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. Okay, y'all. So if you agree with some of the things I was saying, or you was hearing me out, or you was feeling what I was saying, or are you totally disagree, leave it in the comments. I want to hear y'all perspective on things, what y'all feel about it, if you've been following it, if you notice certain things, like, you know, that I might have noticed too, or even if you spiritual and you actually feel the same way about certain things. Are you seeing what's going on in the world right now? Leave it in the comments respectfully. We don't have to always agree, but we can speak as mature adults and respect each other's opinion. And, you know, that's it. But definitely, y'all, leave your comments, because I do want to hear from y'all. and hear y'all's perspective on things. If you was feeling what I was saying and you agree with some of the things I was saying, leave it in the comments. If there's things that you notice that I may have not even spoke about, leave it in the comments. I definitely want to hear it. And so that's my show. And this is how I see it, from the block to the bigger picture. If it made you think, share it. If it hit, run it back. I'm Bella. Stay aware and stay locked in.